Hello, I'm Mark Shastra, the CEO of I2I Events Group, and I'm delighted to welcome you to one in a series of videos that we have developed in partnership with the UK Trade and Investment. Our aim is to provide insight and guidance to help you get the most value when you exhibit at one of our shows, and to use it as a platform to start building your business internationally. I'm now going to hand over to my colleague, Matt Crabtree, who is going to give you some top tips on how to increase your chances of being successful in the world of exporting.
So, first up, understanding the common challenges. It can seem a little daunting at first, so many new things to think about. But the truth is that once you've spent a little time understanding each of them, they'll become relatively straightforward. Now, doing some preparation before the event will mean you can go armed with knowledge and get much more out of the show. You want to think about which countries to export into and by what market entry model. There are many countries to choose from, so think about your products and where they would be most appropriate. Is there a market for them? And how would you need to adapt them to fit that market? Now, one of the simplest ways to get into a new market is to find a distributor or an agent. Whilst these options may mean you make a little less per transaction, they often work on larger volumes and undertake some of the administrative burden. Setting up your own sales office or a joint venture are other options, but these are typically more suited to large market entry plans or challenging geographies. Now, get prepared from an internal resources perspective. You'll need to assign someone to oversee the project. Now, don't split this between multiple people, as that causes confusion and a lack of ownership. Having one person in charge means there's someone dedicated to waking up in the morning and thinking about how to drive the export business for you. Marketing and selling your products once you're in a new country should be a top priority too. It's a little bit too easy to sit back once you've got your first foothold. But experience tells us that those who keep up their activity to sell more do the best. Find more trade shows to attend and organise to meet more buyers face to face. Make sure your website is up to date with your exporting contacts and recent activity. And don't forget that you can write an article or two about what you're up to and post these on your website's blog or on social media. Now, when you do your research about the markets you'll enter, make a note of any cultural differences. English is likely not your new export country's native language, so you're going to have to think about translating the packaging and any instructions. There may be different business practices too, which may mean your product needs to be modified or the price changed. Gathering as much information as possible up front will help you tremendously in the long run. Now, you may think that the logistics and the paperwork are difficult. However, many logistics firms will also undertake customs or tax documentation as well as other necessary paperwork. Finding a company that has experience of shipping the types of goods you sell to the countries you're interested in can prove invaluable. It's sometimes possible to reduce the costs by having your consignment added to one they're already due to ship. So do your research and compare a number of different companies. Unfortunately, it's only the UK that uses pound sterling, so the likelihood is you'll need to find a way of being paid in a foreign currency. Now check with your bank about the facilities they provide. It might just be very straightforward. You will, however, need to think about bank charges associated with processing a foreign transaction and, of course, exchange rate fluctuations. And you need to build these into your export plan. Secondly, knowing who is there to guide and support you. Now, there are two great places to get support and information. The most obvious one is to make use of UK Trade and Investment, or UKTI. There is such a vast amount of free information available, so a quick search of their website should see you find the most appropriate information. Don't forget that UKTI has a group of International Trade Advisors, or ITAs, who are on hand to meet and advise you about any aspect of the exporting journey, as well as plenty of other websites and guides available, including Exporting for Growth, 10 Steps to Success. You can be sure there are a number of companies that just 12 or 24 months ago were in the same position as you. They were considering their exporting options, and now they've got success behind them. Ask the UKTI for a list of companies in your product area or who have exported to countries of interest to you, and then seek their advice. Remember that the successes and mistakes of others will provide you with a way of shortcutting your own learning curve. Finally, how can you make sure you have an outstanding show? Well, you need to stand out from the crowd. With so many exhibitors vying for the attention of possible buyers, you need to do something to get noticed. Now, you can create a buzz by having a prize draw at a particular time each day, or by serving fizz at 5 or petit fours at 4. You can even get the team dressed in the same eye-catching clothes too. You'll want to make sure that you have enough people on the stand so it's manned throughout every minute of every day. But not too many that people are bored and resort to looking at their smartphones. Remember that everyone on the stand is representing your brand and should be portraying positive, vibrant energy. Get everyone to rehearse what he or she will ask and say. Their jobs are to engage with visitors, find out what they're looking for, and then skillfully position your products in the best possible way to match the needs. We like to call this being more interested than interesting. Get the team to find out as much information in a natural way. You don't want to descend into an interrogation, but you do want to gather quality information. Once you have that information, recording it methodically will mean you can assess whom to follow up after the show. Develop a document with a series of fields so that the team can fill it in, and then when you want to get back in touch with someone, you have all their relevant information in one place, along with some interesting information that people shared with you. Above all, be proactive about following up. Don't wait a week. Get in touch with them straight away with a personal note. This will help you to stand out from the crowd and turn visitors into potential purchasers. So it just leaves me to say good luck as you prepare for the show, and I wish you every success as you internationalise your business.